Okay. So yeah, we can open up iTerm, go to Profile, Advanced Configuration, hit Edit. Now, we have three options. So working directory for new Windows. So this is when you like open it up. Where do you want it to go? Well, I want mine to go to my users, and then whatever your username is. Mine's James Yates, and then desktop. If you don't know what that exactly is in terminal, you could like cd into this into your desktop, and then you can do like print working directory, and then you could copy that one. Maybe I want to cd into, maybe I want to start here because that's generally where I'm going to go anyway. So I could actually just start.
I wasn't able to, it says, all I did was cd/users. Do I need to know beyond that what I would use? I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, it's just, I'm just navigating to where I want this to open up. So say, for example, I want to open, when I have this open up iTerm, and I want it to open up in the fall 2021 directory. I'm just going to navigate, because maybe I don't know what the full path is. So in iTerm, I'm going to navigate to that folder, and then I can do print working directory, and then I can copy this and paste that in there.
Do we want to, I guess, as the example of what we need to do now, do we want to do it in the PWD fall this time?
This is where you, this is your choice. This is where you want to open this up. I think since, I always generally like 95% of the stuff I'm going to be doing for the next 2 months.
Oh, okay.
Is going to, with terminal, I'm going to start here. Like, it just makes sense. And it's a thing that like, it saves me like what, a second or like maybe 2 seconds, but that adds up.
Sorry, where are you finding preferences? Because I see like edit session, but it's not giving me the preference option.
Yeah, so iTerm, you click on iTerm and then preferences. Or you could do command, all right, this command comma.
I was clicking on the thing itself, that's why.
And then for new tabs, we don't really use tabs, but I could have that be the same. That's like a new tab. You can, if I can do a new tab, boom. We can actually have multiple tabs on terminal. But for this one, the working directory for new split panes, this is the one where you want to say reuse previous sessions directory. So that's when I create a new pane. Then if I have that there, that one will then open up that pane in that new session directory. So, this takes like, a couple minutes to set up, but it's really just going to help us. Some of these things that like, cuts out these couple second tasks. It really just helps us maintain our flow.
Do we need to write anything in directory, or can we save now? Just press open.
Did you don't have anything in here?
No, I do have user/Kelsey up to DPL.
Yeah. And then, yeah, for these two, I'm going to use the directory. For the new pane, I'm going to use the reuse previous directory. That's all I need to do. And then I can hit OK.
Cool.
And then for those changes to apply, I probably need to quit iTerm. And now when I open up iTerm, I'm in DPL fall 2021. And if I split my pane, oh, what the hell is that? Split pane. That one's in DPL fall 2021. So a little trick there to save you some time. Cool. So now I'm going to open up that gist. And yeah, for me, I thought this was like good to like have these split so I'm utilizing my computer, I'm utilizing the full screen so I can go on the green button. I don't have to do this, but I think it just makes it easier. Can bring that to the left and then click on my terminal, and then that's on the right.
How did you do that again?
It's on the green button. When I click and hold that, it gives me an option to do the tile to the window left or right.
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, and so now I'm kind of ready to go. So I think some like the key here is like have a quick way to navigate here. So one of the ways I do that is, by organizing them in one spot, like the Trello board, and then I can throw that as a bookmark on Chrome. So if you don't know how to do that, you just take a link and you can just plop it on down there. So it's like these little things that like really have nothing to do with code. These can help you with your flow. And now I can come in here, I can start copying and pasting this stuff. Now I don't need the $sign, but something you might need in like yours, you might need to explain to yourself that like this right here is going to create a Rails project called project name here. And this is probably something, you need to switch. So now I can come in here. We're actually going to do a contact list demo. So that's what I'll go ahead and call this.
Sorry, where was the thing to right click to split it?
You go to the green button on the top left and you have to hold that down for a second. And then you get this option. So yeah, while this is running, I'm gonna, because I need a repo for this anyway, so you have somewhere to look for code. I'm going to create a repository. So let's call this contact. You don't have to create this repository because this is just demo. This is so I can throw this out for you and you can look at the code when this is done. I can create the repository. Make sure I'm on SSSH, copy the link. And yeah, if this is still running, I can just split my terminal, Command D, Command Shift D, or right click, split pane. And then I can CD into whatever I call this contact list. Then I need to also, well, that's done, so I can CD here. Cool. Yeah, if I close this, if I'm in contact list now and I do a Command Shift D, boom, now I'm already in contact list in that new pane. So I can add that remote. And then, yeah, I can go ahead. We've CD'd into there. Can now do my bundle add React Rails. Now, something you might want to add in here is like the order of, like, I can't run this Rails G React install until this one is done. So it's fine if you just want to say like run these in order and wait until they're done. Now that that's done, I've done my Rails G React install. Now I can do my Rails DB create. And like, I don't really need to start my server right now. That's just the command. You know, you should just know like Rails S starts your server. So I can, like, I'm not done with setup yet, so I don't really need to start my server yet, because I do want to do this other stuff. So I can go ahead and do generate this static controller, and because we will do a little React stuff today. So like here's a little like exception. So I'm creating a controller, I'm calling it static, but I told you you have to call controllers plural, right? That was kind of a rule I said yesterday. Our controller should be named plurally. That is the convention, but this static controller is not going to be associated with a model. That's why I'm calling it static. It's not going to interact with the database. It's just giving up static or hard-coded content. So since it's not combined, like I don't have a static model and a statics controller, it's just not associated with a model. So I'm just calling it static. Cool. So now I've generated that. Now I can go ahead and open up code dot. And yeah, I'm going to make this full screen. So now I have a couple full screens, but this is where I can use my 3-finger swipe to kind of navigate between these, because I really do want to utilize my real estate on my computer, especially if you have like a 13-inch Mac. Then you want to like use all the room you have. So I want to go to my route.rb. So I might want to edit this to like give me a little more information about where that is, like, but another, like, just memorize this command P to, this is how we're going to start searching in VS Code for files, command P. We're going to throw up this search, then I'm going to go routes.config. If you're using this to find files, sometimes you have to, because you might not know the name of the file and you know where it is. But if you know the name of the file, use that command P. I'm just going to be using that from here on out. Okay, so now I just want to come in here. I think this is simple enough. I don't have to copy and paste it, but we're going to go to our static controller. And then we're going to define a home method in there. So command P static controller, navigate there. Because that's the next thing I have. I can just copy and paste this. So we're rendering component home. We're passing just some random props, just to kind of test that we're able to pass props. So now I have this home component that I need to create. And this one I did throw in the full path. I kind of changed this because this needs to go here. And that might be a note that like I would want to add here. Like this, my components have to go in the app JavaScript components folder. That's just kind of like a React Rails rule. Okay, so this one, yeah, maybe I do want to use the folder structure to navigate here. So I go to my app, JavaScript components, and that's where I create this one, home.js. And then, yeah, I can go ahead and copy and paste this. I can go ahead and grab these gems. And we might find down later in the course, there's more gems we add. So, you know, I could add to this list as needed. But right now, here's just kind of some common ones. I can go ahead and do this in the development test.
And what do gems do exactly?
Gems are other people's code. So, for example, Rails is a gem. We want to use all these Rails functionality. We need to like download their code. So this gem file is a way where we can, you know, how we kind of organize this.
Thank you.
Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that inside of here in this group development. I've added these 4 gems. So now I can use things like Faker. We can get that fake data with pry Rails. Pry Rails is what allows us to do binding.pry. If I don't have pry Rails installed in my gem file, then binding.pry is not going to work. So, and then I have a note, remember to run bundle after any time you update the gem file. So I've added stuff to my gem file, but it really hasn't installed anything. So I need to come in and run bundle. And see, now I can see it's like, oh, it's fetching Faker. It's going to grab some of these gems. Cool. And then I have my message to do like, oh, okay, I need to do a git add, git commit. And yeah, one step I did skip was to start my server to test this all out. Rails S. Then yeah, maybe I need a note that says go to localhost 3000. Kind of do this so many times, that's just in my memory. So that's something you would maybe want to add, like a link to localhost 3000. So you can just click on it and it takes you there. Cool. Now we're up and running. So hopefully, like maybe like today when you do your homework, instead of it taking like 20 minutes, it takes like 10 minutes. And also, even more importantly, hopefully this is going to be like, by really having this detailed, you're going to avoid those like setups that take like 40 minutes. And so, yeah, like when I do this, it might take, it might take a little time to come in and create this documentation. Like the first time you set up Rails, well, if you're setting up Rails and doing this along with it, that first time might take like an hour because you're really going through all the steps. You're really documenting exactly what you have to do. But you're catching your errors, you're catching problems you run into. Like something I usually forget to do is like, I forget to like commit. It's not going to break anything, but it's just like a good practice to like, oh, once I like get everything installed, like commit. So this is just like a nice reminder for myself. It's like, oh yeah, I need to commit this. And then sometimes like if I don't have like my gems, these can be hard to like find. I might have to go to like the individual like GitHub links to find how to do these. But now I just have them all organized in one spot. If I don't have this right here, I'm like, well, I got to go install Faker. It's like, how do I do that? It's like, I forget. I have to go to Google. I have to Google Faker gem. Then I have to go to their documentation. I'm like, oh, here it is. Then I copy and paste that. Then I go to my gem file and paste it in there. Then if I forget what pry Rails is, I have to go like search for pry Rails. You know, go try to find it. It's like, how do I do this again? To go look through their documentation to go find this. So what this is doing, I'm just kind of creating this nice organized thing. So I don't have to go do that. It really saves me a lot of time. Cool. Any questions? Is anyone having issues getting this set up? I think now is actually a good time to take a break since this is just set up. But if you are done setting up and you have this running, you can take a break and come back at, I'll give this a little extra time just for anyone who's having issues. So come back at 10:30. If you are having issues or have questions, I'll stick around.
So yeah, I didn't set up any of that because I was just kind of trying to watch.
That's fine. So we'll just, if you just want to watch the lecture today, that's fine.
Okay.
But I'm going to be using this project here to continue with this lecture.
Okay. But what you did is basically the same thing of the Rails setup video, that first one you sent yesterday of the 3, right?
Yeah. The first one of the 3 is, it's pretty closely following this. And I have a link to this gist on that YouTube video.
Yeah, I copied that link. So
What's the name of our project today?
I called it contact list.
Okay.
That link you sent, that's here in Zoom, right?
This gist one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in Zoom and Slack. Or is the Zoom one that?
It doesn't open, it says.
Oh, I think I sent out let me fix that. This was like the edit version. Okay.
Yeah,
It's just, you can just get rid of that /edit. But
oh, okay. If I get rid of the /edit, it'll be fine.
it should work. Yeah, I'll throw it back in there though. The proper one.
Okay.
There it is.
So just going through all of this will get me there without having to watch the video, essentially.
Yeah.
Cool. So you start everything in the terminal, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In the DPL folder, am I doing this in am I changing directory to week 2 and am I making, what are we calling the or what are we calling the project, I guess?
Well, that's like the project name here. That's what, like today we're doing a contact list. So that's where it says project name here. That's where you need to switch it to contact list. Now,
Did she need to go to GitHub first?
So this is where, yeah, you don't need to create a GitHub repo for this. That's like an optional thing. So this is kind of reason why it's hard to write documentation, because it's like,
Right.
For me, I'm like doing this as like, here's kind of everything I would want to do. I would want to create a GitHub repo. I mean, this would be really good for like your homework, because yes, you would want to create a GitHub repo. But yeah, things like, if you need to know, like, create a note like, oh, where do I need to start doing this? Like where you would start doing this is in the directory where you want to put this Rails project. So in this example, it would be, yeah, you would want to put it in week 2. You would want to start doing this in week 2.
So after I CD'd into week 2, then I would start the Rails new project and then make the new name, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Yep.
And what did you call it? Contact list?
But yeah.
Okay.